This is Massive, the world's largest cruiserweight, and you're watching and listening to Countdown City WrestleCast. I'm out.
What is up, heels and baby faces? It's another episode of the Countdown City WrestleCast. I'm your host, JC, who has had Chambea on repeat since Saturday. Joining me is a birthday boy here, Tommy.
Hi, guys.
His birthday yesterday.
Thank you to Raising Cane's for feeding me tonight because
Alien 22, I hear.
Yeah. And, of course, we got Mike.
Dude, I wish.
What's up, guys? It's Big Mike going through the train tracks in 2023. Let's be honest, the best part of Backlash was still Bailey. And you know what I'm talking about.
Mike, good sir, you have no argument from me. You are 100% correct. Well done.
Yep. Thank you, everyone, for joining us live. We do appreciate it. Join live chat along with us. We're going to be recapping Backlash, talk a wealth of wrestling news. Tommy might talk a bit about how BOW went. Mike, did you attend BOW?
I did.
You did, yeah. So that you guys will kind of give a little quick rundown of that. Mm-hmm. Me, I was stuck at a baseball and softball field all weekend, both days. It was a long weekend, a tiring weekend. So that being said, I'm drinking tonight, guys. Hell yeah. I am off tomorrow because the new Zelda game comes off tomorrow, so I'm going to be playing that.
Legitimate reason.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, Tommy, how you decided this year to put up your Cash App and said, hey, if anybody's willing, why not?
Yeah.
You know what, guys? When I hear Zelda games that I haven't been able to play for like 20 years now, I need a Switch. So, same thing, maybe coming soon. My birthday's in July. Just throwing it out there.
All right.
I'll tell you this, Mike. Depending on how the summer goes and how if I can get full time at some point, yeah, that's on my list. The Switch, because I'm just saying.
Yeah. I mean, look, I can still pull out the 64 if I can find a tube TV and try Ocarina of Time, but
yeah. Although if you get a Switch, you could play that. Just play the mod or do the online thing.
Yeah,
but yeah,
that's what I've heard. So
yeah.
I'm
waiting for the Suikoden 1 and 2 remaster. When is it coming out? Give me a release date. Sorry.
Well, I'm just gonna throw this out there real quick because Link's Awakening, the remaster that they did was so well done. By the way, on the Switch, a part of me is hoping they do that with the Link to the Past. Because that is a whole immersive world you could make and just update the graphics on it. And as long as you keep the same gameplay options, it'd be amazing.
There are a lot of good Zelda games that they could do that with. Seriously.
So I would.
And that's right. We are here to announce we are now starting Countdown City Video Game Cast. Boom, guys! Here it is. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, if I get the new setup, I might be able to do something like that on my own. So.
We'll see if I get time to stream on Twitch when I'm playing Zelda. We'll see. So. All right, starting with the wrestling news a bit, and everything kind of seems to at least centered a little bit on AEW with Thunder Rosa and Miro making some TV appearances.
Yeah.
They have not been seen for different reasons, obviously, in quite a while, like as part of the main storyline. But stuff is happening. Obviously, there's some big news about a third show coming to AEW.
Yep.
Tony Khan's supposed to make an announcement next week on Dynamite, which is in Austin, Texas, by the way, next week.
Ooh,
yeah.
And it's expected to be the creation of the third show, Collision. People are expecting Punk to be back for that. Supposedly he's central to this new show being made. But also apparently some of these people who they haven't used as much or they're going to bring on and they're making it sound. At first, they were talking about like a hard split of the roster, a la Raw and SmackDown. But now they're saying it's going to be a little more soft, and people will go back and forth as are needed. So
actually,
it sounds exciting. Oh yeah, go for it.
There was something about that I saw. This guy where is it?
Joe Cabana. He said something about that. Yeah. So he said
Colt's brother.
I wanted to make that joke so bad, but the past. So he said on Facebook, he said the past 6 months I've been saying how AEW not only getting renewed, but they'll be a pretty huge deal for them. This was even before Collision and Max came into the picture. I don't know if it's 1 billion, but it's big, and the announcement are still be May 17th. But news were bigger before that. But he also said that, like, with that, Mike, like you said, like, I know there was a rumor of a hard split, but he confirmed. But he said, like, it's not going to be a hard split. There are going to be people who bounce back and forth between shows.
So
Okay.
yeah, and the other thing I've heard about this is kind of funny to me is they've made it sound. I think this one came from Meltzer, but basically Punk and the Elite for now will be kept on opposite shows. So if they need Punk on Dynamite for a storyline or whatever particular week, the Elite will not be on Dynamite, and then they'll show up on Collision. Seems to be like what one of the rumors they've heard, which
Is it really that bad though? I mean, come on.
I really
right?
don't think it is. But
I
real
almost-
quick,
I
hey
almost
yo,
hope-
Bernsey. So he
Hey, Bernsey, what's up?
I almost hope that's a part of a little kayfabe in there.
Hmm.
So, when the stuff finally does go down, because I think we're still all hoping it goes down this summer, is heading into England.
Ooh,
Yeah.
what if Don Callis managed to CM Punk?
Ooh.
I just thought of that. Ooh.
And if you don't know why Tommy is asking why Don Callis might be
my
managing
bad.
Punk, no, that's fine. That's part of the news, right?
Yeah.
That is part of the news, Tommy, if you want to call it out. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I had to see it after the fact, of course. But and once again to say this, Kenny Omega and John Moxley just make magic together. I know. We still remember what
Violet
happened.
magic.
Yeah, I know. We still remember what happened with the barbed wire and everything. But up until that point, that was still a great match. But when the match was almost over, i.e., Kenny Omega hit the one-winged angel, the match was over. Don Callis with a screwdriver just jabbed Kenny right in the forehead. Moxley pinned Omega, and then Don whispered something to Kenny before throwing him on the ground. I don't know if you guys saw this, but it was like on the Twitter and Facebook for the social media exclusives of Alex Marvez trying to get a word from Don Callis. He just yelled no comment as he was on the phone running for his car. No comment, no comment. And he ran for his car, dude. And
Okay, that's a
up,
couple of theories, though.
Yeah.
One, is he managing CM Punk? And two, is CM Punk joining the Blackpool Combat Club?
I want that so bad. I really legitimately do.
That would be arguably the biggest stable of all time in wrestling if that were to happen. So
I love, and you know me, JC. You've known me a long time. It's hard for me to like the heels.
Yeah,
when they're healing it up, but
because it's Claudio.
Yeah.
Well, yes, because I'm sorry, I can't believe I don't believe it when the Young Bucks are fighting him off.
Mhm.
I'm like, come on. He could press both of you, one in each arm, and just toss you over the rails.
Bernsey.
Yeah.
Well, fair.
I heard some people say that. Like they've been planting the seeds.
Yeah, they have
But
been.
yeah, I don't think people are expecting it this right here at this.
I'm curious though if they may save, if Punk's return is soon, if they may save that for Double or Nothing, because that's right around the corner. That's only a couple weeks away.
they'll save
They
it for
haven't
Double or
really
Nothing.
announced much other than the main event. So they need to start fleshing out that card.
Yeah, I mean that's already a big weekend. You have Night of Champions, you have Battleground, and then you have Double or Nothing. So it's already a huge card.
Yeah.
I had heard, as part of the rumor mill with all this Punk and Elite stuff, that he was injured anyway. Mm-hmm. So the rumor I heard, like I said, this is like the less popular rumor, so no one really pays attention to it.
Spicy.
Exactly. Was that all this was just keeping him away and off TV? Was all this was just an excuse so he could heal up before he came back? That's what I had heard.
Yeah, I do remember hearing after it all happened, he was legitimately injured in that match.
Yeah,
when he won the title back before he did.
But then drama,
before he did all that, and they had what was it called? Brawl Out or whatever.
Brawl Out. That's what they call
Something
it.
Something like that. Yeah. So
AEW's got a lot going on, and again. La Meta showed back up. and said maybe or I guess it's a good night to talk to Poppy Khan. And she walked
Miro
in his
showed back
door.
up.
Oh, also, by the way, put out a mariachi song, and it is flipping awesome. I don't know if y'all have seen this. Check out her YouTube page.
I saw something like that
She
pop up. I haven't gotten to watch it
did.
yet.
And she just released.
so-
She released it the same night as Dynamite.
Well, she's
got
been
an
doing
amazing
music a
voice.
lot lately. Yeah, she
Yeah.
that was the one thing I remember reading specifically. She had been doing while she was out was a lot of music stuff, and
which is great.
And I gotta throw this in. I saw people on Twitter, and it was like Britt Baker. Oh, don't you need to use your back to hit those notes?
Wow.
And I was like, I don't mind that.
Oh, at this
Fun.
point it'll never die, and I kind of don't
Maybe-
want it to.
Maybe she should cover "Why You So Obsessed with Me" next.
Yeah,
That'd be great. Just do it in Spanish too.
That'd be awesome.
yeah, that'd be amazing.
Anything else we need to call out? I want to save the WWE updates till after we discuss Backlash. 'cause
Okay,
a
you
lot
wanna
of
save
that
that?
happens
Yeah,
after.
yeah.
Okay, that makes
'cause
sense.
that's really what happened afterwards. So
I think for the most part that was it. Oh, I will throw this out. We'll get into this maybe with the local upcoming events. But on Tuesday, Mission Pro had their On a Mission show, and just go watch it if y'all get a chance on the Mission Pro show, the Mission Pro YouTube channel, and follow the live comments as you're watching the video, because I started a Boss Bane insults, but not mean insults. It was I started with I hear Boss Baines doesn't return his shopping cart to the corral.
wow.
And several people joined in with similar levels, and also some people in there call him Boss Disdain.
Wow.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, so it was fun. Go follow the live chat on that, and then we'll talk about the announcement because La Rosa Negra was on that show too, and made a big announcement about the main event.
No,
So
don't just watch it to read the live chat. Try and watch the content.
No,
of the show
watch
as well,
both.
you know,
Yeah,
So yeah,
but pay attention to the live chat as you're going through.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, that's a good segue into what's coming up on the local wrestling scene wise. Of course, we just had BOW. RCW is this next Sunday.
Yeah, next Sunday.
The In Our House event. Hybrid Experience, they're running a show the same weekend as Night of Champions and Double or Nothing.
Yep.
Mission Pro, June 10th, and Branded Outlaw announced their next show is going to be July 8th. So that is what's on the horizon.
Sorry.
Yep. Good segue there into Branded Outlaw Wrestling, guys. I'm in the wrong graphic here. Mike, Tommy, you guys attended BOW. What can you give us some quick notes on it? What happened? What did you like about it? And what are you looking forward to in the July show coming up in about a couple months from now?
Well, I worked there. I liked everything about it. No, it was actually a really good show. We had a good crowd. We have this. I have to call these guys out. There's the same section of kids and this family that come up with these two kids who they will cheer who they like and boo who they don't like. They don't care who's the heel or the face in the match. They will cheer and boo whoever they feel like, and I respect it. I'm
Those
not
kids
even
are
mad.
at Hybrid too.
Yeah, they're everywhere now.
Yeah.
I see them all over San Antonio, and I'm like, hell, awesome, good for them. But they're so much fun. They are a ton of fun at each show. Just a great show, top to bottom. We did get a fun tidbit for the next show after Misty Marks attacked Ladybird after the women's tag match. She will get a title shot. However, it will be in a steel cage at the July 8th show. Yeah. So that's going to be fun.
Yeah, that July 8th show is actually looking pretty stacked. So the previous BOW show I had gone to was back in October, and some of you watched the show, and I know you guys remember the Rhodes Academy guys and students were there.
Yeah.
And that's the one where one of them was standing in front of me, and I took his picture and tweeted Justin about it. He was like, "Tell him to sit down." But apparently, and you've been there for all the shows since. I haven't. I missed the last couple since then. But apparently, these Rhodes Academy guys just keep trying to take over, and they did the same thing. I mean, they were doing the same thing. They were there in a bunch of matches, and they finally set up a Team Rhodes Academy versus Team BOW match for that July 8th show. And it was End of the World Party and Alexander
Dredd.
Crowley
And Drew Dredd.
and Drew Dredd.
Yeah.
Versus El Rayo and whoever he chooses from the group.
Yeah, it's his choice of any four other Rhodes Academy members he wants to bring in. So.
So we got a couple big matches with that, and then okay. So also, Chase Owens teamed with Boss Baines at the show, and look, I got to give it to Boss Baines. The guy was apparently real excited to be associated with Bullet Club. I don't think Chase Owens was going to fully let him into Bullet Club. They won the match. And it was really hard for me to watch because Boss Baines was doing competent wrestling moves, and I didn't want to give him credit for that.
It was so funny.
But they won the match, and then Chase Owens, I think, got tired of him Boss Baines trying to too sweet him, so he super kicked him and left the crowd happy, and somehow he turned face. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the funny part was Boss Baines got one too sweet, and he then got super kicked, and then he stumbled out saying, "I was in Bullet Club for 5 seconds," and apparently, the boss left it on camera. Me saying that's not how that works. So yeah, but anytime I get to see Boss Baines kicked in the face is a good day, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, so and in the main event, Savage King retained against Vic Endurance in the match. It was going to be hard hitting from the start. It's Savage King is he's definitely taken over that hard hitting champion style that Shane Taylor started. Yeah, so it's like whoever dethrones him, they better be ready to put the work in, son, because Savage King out here playing these games with y'all. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a fight. So yeah, really fun show. And of course, Terry was out there, so it's always fun to talk with Terry and stuff. So
yeah.
Oh, excuse me. All right. Yep. Well, let's move into Backlash, guys. And what an event. Let's just jump in right off of it. Bad Bunny versus Damian Priest is what it seems like everybody is talking about coming out of this show.
The main event,
entrance, and rightfully so. I gotta call a spade a spade.
Entrance, the surprise returns. This was
the returns.
Yes.
That was so cool. I never thought I'd see Carlito in a WWE ring again, but that was so awesome to see him run out.
You had a feeling Savio was going to show up because he got teased earlier in the night.
Yeah, for sure.
The Carlito, wow, and the pop Carlito got. Yeah. Was almost as big as the one Brad Bunny got as soon as Chambea started.
I love how his song didn't even play like the first 3 notes good for the crowd just lost their shit.
Yeah.
It was like so immediate, and I loved it. It was great.
I mean, it's a classic too. It was almost on the level of ECW singing along to Enter Sandman.
Yeah,
because you just had Chambea going off. Now that seems to be what everyone's talking about, but there were some other decent matches on the show as well. People are overlooking the fact that Zelina Vega got a hero's welcome and, quite frankly, had the best moment of the night when she threw a chancla at Rhea Ripley.
Yes. Bruh. Dude.
But what's overlooked is Michael Cole saying that she was giving Rhea Ripley ojo, which was even better. That had me and Tina dying. I don't know if you guys heard that. Yeah. So,
I heard that.
Michael Cole's having so much more fun now that I'm actually happy for him. Yeah. So happy for him right now.
Yeah, apparently, unlike Randy Orton, he no longer hears voices in his head. So
yeah.
Well, that's the difference. When Randy hears them, it's more fun. When Michael Cole hears them, he's having a terrible day.
Anyone else think that Zelina Vega needs to incorporate the chancla into every match she has from now on? That needs to become a staple.
Like the playground match at Hybrid, I think wrestling needs more of certain things that I didn't think it needed, and chanclas is now one of them. Yes, so
yeah.
I mean, in general, if we could get more Zelina Vega on our TV, I'm totally cool with that.
For sure.
That man is preaching right now, so
Yeah.
So put a chancla in, and all joking aside, you forget how talented of a wrestler she really is.
Yeah.
They've used her spare. Like, she won the Queen of the Ring, 2 years ago, whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
And then they didn't really do a lot with it.
Yeah.
She was in random tag teams with Carmella, I think, for a while. And so this associate with the LWO is great.
And
I feel bad for who is it, Weil and Del Toro. Well, is it still Joaquin Wild, right?
yeah, he's the
And
Joaquin
Del Toro.
Yeah.
Because like they're apparently not going to fully go over the Judgment Day like as them. So like they're usually the two that get beat up. Andrade.
Santos.
Thank you.
Yeah.
He gets some a little bit more, and obviously Ray's going to get his in. So those two guys usually wind up getting beat up, even though like they're the good guys. But that was a fun show all the way around. I think it was awesome for all of them to be there and be able to do that.
I will say, like, I did get I actually legit got like emotional for Zelina Vega when even
you
after
can
the
see
match.
it in her face, yeah.
Yeah, it's but like just for her to get that ovation, you know, because I don't know if you guys remember her when she was in TNA when she tagged with was her name Sarita because when Sarah Stock anyway so when she was that and you know to do all that come to WWE, you know, finally get a match in Puerto Rico in front of her home people and just get that standing ovation. I felt legitimately happy for her because she just seemed like, you know, just so well earned. I was like, you know, good for her. That's awesome.
And I saw this other thing tweeted, and you know my Spanish sucks, so I'm not going to try to repeat. But apparently, they were chanting something for her. That was something along the lines of like, "We are Puerto Rican, you know it," or something like that, and.
Something like that, yeah. I have to look up what the translation was again. I had it before, but I forgot to write it down. But yeah, it's pretty awesome.
I mean, you could tell like from the moment she came out, she had that awesome like Puerto Rican flag thing as part of her gear.
Yeah, which was awesome. Yeah,
which was super cool. And then
I mean, she was even emotional walking out with just that on, which is
that's what I mean.
Which I thought was it was so cool.
Aside from those two matches we mentioned, what other match would you guys consider some like that? Maybe like another one that was like pretty underrated because everyone talks about those. So what? Oh, hey Abby. One of the softball parents. Thanks for joining. Yeah, talking wrestling. Here.
Hello, one of the softball parents.
Get Vic to join this. So.
I still want to almost some credit. I mean, it's Seth Rollins. It's hard to have a bad match with him, but that wasn't bad for what it was. Bianca and Io was fun. I love how the crowd just loved Io and just proved the hell out. I kind of get it, but it's like, damn. So,
yeah, you saw it on Bianca's face too a couple times. She was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah. But you know that I think that just comes with the territory. I'm sure she's fine with it. But like, go ahead. Sorry. No, I was going to move on to another match. Go ahead.
I was going to say, and people, let's stop blaming Bayley. She clearly was trying to help out Sky. She had Sky shaved into the back of her head. I don't know if y'all saw this. She obviously supports her.
Well, it's hard to blame. It's hard to blame Bayley for anything right now, just in general. So,
and again, she was the best part of the show. So,
she's in the top 5 things that happened on the show. Probably number 1.
I said what I said.
Abby, I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, you'll hear Vic and I talking about this at practice and softball games, I'm sure. So when we're in between.
And actually, if you watch the show like 3 more times, you might, if I end up realizing you know more than you realize.
Or you might get tired of us, but either way.
Yeah.
Now, something else that obviously this has come up, Mike. You've talked about this. Bad Bunny and Damian Priest. They called it the part of the double main event along with Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar, but it wasn't the final match on the show.
Heard that before.
So I'm gonna let you guys complain. And I'm gonna give you guys a substantiated reason why it was that way.
Okay.
Why you can't play?
Do you want to complain first, Mike? Because I can complain. Oh.
I look. You're going to tell me something. You're going to tell me Bad Bunny called it. You're going to give me some reason. I'm going to tell you it still should have been the main event. There's nothing you're going to do. And again, does this go a little bit into my, like, I still don't trust Cody and I still am not 100%? Yeah, probably. Because as I've said before, he's getting the super Homelander treatment. Kicking out of F5s, like the same move that he only had to hit once on Samoa Joe, once on Braun Strowman to get pins on, and Cody's kicking out of him. I'm just saying they are giving him some Super Cena treatment ridiculously.
Shockingly, yeah. I mean, Tommy was the only one that went with Cody Rhodes. Myself, we went Lesnar thinking this was going to be one of those Lesnar squash him, rematch this at SummerSlam or something, or the next event, and you build up from there. A la the old Cena between the Cena Rock matches, right? It seemed to be paralleling that, but yeah, I was surprised to see Cody get the win, and it was such a quick roll up. I don't know if that was the plan to do it that way, which is why they set the rematch. I don't know if it's because
Well, no, it wasn't
Lesnar
a
got busted
roll
up.
up. It was like him using
he hit 2
from the
crossroads.
Kimura like.
Oh well, yeah, but I mean,
Right.
it was like almost like a quick finish, though. I mean, the match didn't even make 10 minutes.
Well, it's Brock Lesnar.
I know.
That's why he worked some years
Yeah.
previously.
Yeah,
so.
but maybe this isn't weird, but that crowd gave him a standing ovation as he left, and
Oh yeah.
So
okay, so that was the other thing. Like, you know how they always, who was it? I don't know who always says like they always remember the last thing you see on a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
You could have had your hometown god with Carlito Savio Vega, the LWO, in a ring as the show goes off the air, or you can have Cody running to the back, escaping Brock Lesnar, and you just see Brock there on his knees with a bloody face. Like, you could have had that moment. We talked about it at Clash at the Castle. They could have had that moment. And again, Reigns, whatever, it's his thing. He's going to go 1,000 days. But then you had Tyson, they tried to make up for it for Tyson Fury coming out and singing Sweet Caroline, which was the weirdest, most awkward thing I've ever seen in a wrestling ring in the last 5 years. So,
well, I'll tell you why it didn't finish the show. And funny, Abby's watching this live because she probably could attest this somewhat, even though she's not huge into wrestling. 2 words: Canelo Alvarez. And the reason I bring that up, listen up, is because years ago, the last time Canelo had a fight, Bad Bunny had a concert scheduled, and he waited until the Canelo fight was over before he started his show. And a lot of that is just his thing. He understands Hispanic loyalty. He understands how big a star Canelo is, and so he wanted to have his match before Canelo went on with his fight later on in the evening. You notice his match ended. I think Canelo's fight started probably like about, 10, 15 minutes later, not too long after that. So he didn't want, fans to be going back and forth. It gave people a chance to see him wrestle, have that big moment, and then people could still, if they, to be honest, if they had already bought the fight, wanted to see Canelo fight, they could switch over and watch how that went down. So, and I know Abby was there watching the fight at a friend's house too. So
you know what I say?
I'm just saying
Canelo should have waited for Bad Bunny. He should have returned the favor. He should have said, "No, we're not having this boxing match. The Backlash is over."
See, but that's
man.
The funny part is
look, I like Canelo's a great, but was this like the biggest match of his career? No, this was Backlash in Puerto Rico, the first time in 20 years, and you could have ended with all the Puerto Rican and the LWO in the ring. That crowd would have been in, like we said, it was insane. It would have blown the roof off the place. Canelo, I know you're huge. I know it's a pay-per-view that everyone buys and they still get suckered into. Y'all should have waited.
I agree. But that's Bad Bunny's call there, and he probably pushed for that, knowing him. You can go back and find that video of people watching the Canelo fight on their phones, and literally as soon as the decision was announced, Bad Bunny's concert started. And it probably should have started maybe like 30 minutes before it was supposed to, and he's waiting for the fight to be over.
We're Hispanic. When have we ever started stuff on time? That's like a Rudy Boy show.
Damn.
Oh, Tommy, just because you showed up to BOW this time on time, now you're going to be like...
Well, because he was working. If he's getting paid, he probably has to be, right? So, I mean, what?
I hate this show.
Okay, I'm just...
I absolutely.
No, I'm just... That's the reason. That I wouldn't be surprised if that was the reason why he didn't go on last. Now, obviously, yes, if Canelo's not fighting that night, he finishes the show. That look of everybody in the ring, it's magical. But that, honestly, that's how everyone's really going to remember this pay-per-view. That and Zelina Vega. No one really gives a shit about Cody and Brock because we're going to see it again. Bad Bunny in Puerto Rico, amazing. Just the pop, the entrance. I'm going to go out there and say it. This is match of the year right now. It maybe wasn't a technical showcase, but when you factor in the entrances, the crowd reaction, how it went down, I mean, just everything that got on, everyone was hype on it start to finish. And
Now that's true.
Psychology was played out amazingly well, even into a Puerto Rican destroyer, whatever he's calling his version of it. It was so well done. This was just amazing. And yes, the crowd really did make the match. And whatever you look at it like that's when I went back to watch Backlash, I literally, like, I think when we turned to the stream when the match was like middle of it going on, and the kids were watching it with us because they were excited to see Bad Bunny wrestle. To the point where now their welcome songs are both Chambea now because they're all hooked on that song. So, but going back and watching that from the beginning, his entrance is just amazing. So, yes, it should have been last, but I understand why he didn't want to go last because it would have interfered with the Canelo fight. And I get it. You know, Mike, you may not agree with it, but yeah, that's Bad Bunny's call.
Canelo should have rated.
Yep. So
you could go find two scrubs, 2 tomato cans to throw out and have an exhibition match while we wait. We've done this at wrestling. You've been to wrestling shows with like, hey, you go put on an 8-minute match real quick. That's what pros do, man. So,
just got to throw that in there. Yeah, make Cody Lesnar work longer, but yeah, poor.
Yeah, Brock worked twice as long as you did in 2017. Okay.
Poor Bloodline, Matt Riddle, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn having to follow that shit. But hey, they made something out of it.
I mean, we got the obvious he's gonna turn on them eventually moment, which we all knew we were gonna get, but I like
gonna turn. No.
only when he's not high, so never. But no, I did like the tease. I like the tease. So I'm excited to see where this goes now. Like legit.
All right. Well, how did our WrestleCast pick results go? Tommy went 4-3, and Mike and I both went 5-2. So overall, pretty good. This was a fun night. I'm kind of looking forward to see where WWE builds from here. WrestleCast rating 0 to 5. 5 in WrestleMania 17, 0 being December. Just remember, Tommy, give us your rating here on Backlash.
Oh hell! You know what? Whatever. I will go ahead and give the credit where credit deserves, and I give him the score mainly because of the crowd. I will give this a 5.
Wow!
This is probably the first WWE event I've given a 5 ever.
In a long time.
Yeah, but you know what? The crowd sold me. If the crowd wasn't strong, it would still be a good show. But the fact that they had so much fun and were just like live the entire night, cheering or booing, I'll give the show a 5 because they had so much fun. It made me have fun. So screw it.
You heard it here first. Tommy thinks Backlash is on the level of New Japan's Wrestle Kingdom 17 because that's the only other 5 he's given so far this year. So
sorry, guys.
I'm giving this a 4.75. Pretty damn close, but that Cody Brock was just kind of a throwaway. And I still don't see the point of Osmosis having a match. It just makes no sense to me.
Okay, now I will give you honestly the point of
match of the year. Was that for that?
What?
I wasn't watching at the time because we were at BOW. I assume you meant that for Osmosis versus.
No, not at all, dude. I was like, Goggle Ball, Sky, cool.
That makes sense.
Rollins Osmosis. Let's put this on double speed to get through this. Kind of boring. Triple threat. That went about the way I thought.
Okay. I will give them this.
What?
Because so much of Seth Rollins' character right now is his theme, Osmosis booting him in the face while he's still singing to start the match was actually pretty funny.
Yeah.
Because he's out there, taking it all in, and the Osmosis, boom. I was like, okay, that was pretty funny.
Yeah. Mike, you're rating for the event.
I'm going to go 4.9.
Woo,
and you know what I deducted a 10th for?
Oh,
I don't need to say
Osmosis?
No.
Okay. I'm just kidding.
For Bad Bunny Priest not being the main event.
Yeah.
Yep.
I thought
the show going off the air with Cody just running to the back. And
I thought you would give a lower score because we didn't see enough of Bailey. That's all. But,
I saw plenty. Oh, never mind.
I think that Bailey's what brought it back up to a 4.9. That's probably what it was. So yeah,
it was going to be a 3, and then Bailey showed up.
1.9 more score. She didn't do anything. Yes, she did. She did plenty.
All right, our overall rating for Backlash there is a 4.88.
Woo!
which I think right now is the highest rated WWE pay-per-view of the year for us so far. So yeah,
Probably almost ever. And
yeah, in a long
Also,
time.
Just
So
looking ahead, when's the next PLE on American soil?
SummerSlam, I believe.
It might be because
Yeah,
next we're
Yeah.
going to Saudi Arabia
Saudi
for
Arabia.
Night of Champions.
Mhm.
Then Money in the Bank is going to be in
England.
England,
London.
yeah.
Yeah.
So if it's not till the August one, that might be the next time when they're in Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Interesting.
That's actually next one. Well, Battleground is where.
Oh, is there a battleground in between?
Battleground is the day after Night of Champions, but I forget
Why?
what Battleground
What?
is.
Are you serious? Oh, but that's NXT, right?
That's NXT. So and
Oh,
that's
okay.
in
No.
Massachusetts. So again, technically it's American soil. It's a WWE event,
Yeah,
but
but it's
it's
not.
NXT.
I mean, main roster.
Yeah.
For a second, I was thinking like old Battleground, and I was like, are they doing?
Yeah, I
brands
thought
fighting
old
again?
Battleground because
I
I
thought
remember
we
you
could-
saying Battleground earlier, but immediately I like freaked out, like,
Yeah.
oh god, they're not bringing that back, are they? So,
No.
but yeah,
And then you said after Night of Champions. It's like, why would they? Oh, that's NXT. Okay.
Yeah, it's NXT. So Night of
Yeah.
Champions is that 27th on Saturday. Battleground is probably during the day on the 28th because Double or Nothing is that night for AEW, and they don't want it to compete with AEW. So
Okay, quick thing since we've talked about Bayley and you're talking about NXT. I don't know if you've seen this exchange today on Twitter between Bayley, Cora Jade, and Roxanne Perez. But Bayley made some comment about her flight is supposed to arrive at like 9:22 this evening, and she has to make a flight that's leaving at like 8:52. And she's like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make this negative 30 minutes. And Cora J just like messaged kind of jokingly like, no problem, you can do this. And Bayley was like, you're right, negative 30 minutes should be no problem. By the way, if you don't win the NXT title, I'm going to book a flight down to Florida and beat you up. Right? Like joking with Cora J. And then Roxanne Pettis jumps in and she was like, book the flight.
wow, that's funny.
And then
That's funny.
Cora was like, whatever. Remember the last time we got her, like, like she showed a clip of her beating up Roxanne, and then Roxanne, she's like, when I find you, and showed her. And so then Bayley goes, Shawn Michaels, if you want, I can come down and be the referee for this match. I will promise to call it down the middle. And I was like, yes, that would actually be great.
That actually be amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. But I really love how much Bayley cares about the young talent. That she was working with an NXT before she came back. Indy too on that. I know Bayley. I know Damage Control's on SmackDown, but I would love to see some interaction with the Way and Damage Control, maybe at a PLE.
Yeah.
Leading into Night of Champions, we mentioned they set up Cody and Brock a rematch. I don't know if this is
I
going
think
to
it's
be
like a
gimmick
street
match
fight.
of some sort.
He said
so far
something on
it's
Raw, but
singles. Who knows?
Brock did
Yeah.
that thing where his voice goes real high and sounds weird.
His Howard Dean shit.
Yeah.
There'll also be the tournament final for the inaugural World Heavyweight Championship, which right now Seth Rollins is in it, but I thought this was going to be a title strictly for Raw. So why is there people from SmackDown on the other side of this potentially?
Apparently, if the SmackDown person wins it, they go to Raw. I don't know.
Is that what they're doing?
That's what I've heard.
Okay.
That's
I thought
really
they just
weird.
go to
Whoever wins
SmackDown
it
and
is
then
gonna
Roman's
be
going
on
to challenge
Raw.
him to... I thought they were just setting up Roman to be the belt collector or some shit like that. So,
Dude,
yeah.
I would laugh at the level of trolling of going to
Yeah.
going to the lengths of creating a third title in essence just for Roman to also get it.
Because why not? Yeah, right. So, oh man,
mean,
yeah. So AJ Styles, Edge, Mysterio are one triple threat match.
Yeah.
Austin Theory, Bobby Lashley, and Sheamus are the other. The winners will face off later on in the evening, with the right to face Seth Rollins at Night of Champions to win the inaugural World Heavyweight Championship. The inaugural this go around. So, the big gold belt with a big ass.
The inaugural Wish version of the big gold belt.
Yeah, exactly.
And we say Wish because there's a big W in the middle of it.
I mean, you're not wrong on that one. Sir.
Yeah. All right. Well, guys, let's move into our 1 minute warning segment here. Mike, do you have something this week?
I do.
All right. We're
Wow.
ready, set, and go.
So I wanted to go back real quick to talk about what was announced on a Mission this past Tuesday by Thunder Rosa. So if you've not seen the past couple of weeks in relation to Mission Pro, Genocide came out and made comments about how she was not happy with the things that Jasmine had done at the February show, and that she, was working against Mission Pro and against the women there, and she felt very disrespected by that. And that she would teach her a lesson if she needed to. Jasmine basically responded with, "Well, where were you on that February show? You weren't at the show. While I was fighting for women's rights, you were taking a vacation." So Thunder Rosa came on the show and said, first of all, Genocide was not taking a vacation. She was dealing with some stuff, and she, had Thunder Rosa's permission to not be there. But she also didn't take Jasmine to task. She kind of defended as Jasmine, who is someone who's been fighting for a long time. Like, I was kind of surprised that she wasn't, taking Jasmine to task for what she did. And Front Row and the other person on there, because Emily May was under the weather, so it was Front Row and Thunder Rosa. And he was like, "Well, are we gonna get a match between them two?" And she was like, "Yeah, you know what? Sure, we'll get a match." And it's for the title. And I know Jason has been saying this on social media as well as he popped in. He doesn't believe it should be a title match because Jasmine turned against Mission Pro and the women. But Genocide said, "I'll take you on," and Thunder Rosa made it official. So June 10th, True Colors, main event, Jasmine Allure versus Genocide the Champ. And another person who we've met at the shows and has been on Twitter, Mike, who is very big on his fandoms for Emmy and for Bougie Reality, seems to want to call me out because I have not blatantly made a choice in this match. And people don't understand, Mike, if that's even your real name. I don't know. Just saying. All of a sudden, another Mike shows up.
So, Jasmine Allure Genocide at True Colors.
Yeah, and I'm just saying, this is like choosing between Shawn and Sting for me, right? This is like choosing between Claudio and Bailey right now. Like,
I'll go ahead and make my choice right now. Hashtag and new. That's all I'm going to say.
There you go. I will make my decision on the show before True Colors.
All right.
These are obviously some tough things I have to think about.
Well, you have time. You have till we talk about it before June 10th.
Look,
so
I know I've taken like a 7-minute warning now. Tommy, like you have vitriol towards all these other wrestlers that you have seen over the years, and from the first time I went to Mission Pro, we've talked about this before. Like you just had vitriol toward her. You said negative things. Okay, I'm an educator. I've been teaching in this city for almost 20 years. I try to look for the best in people, right? Because, sometimes young people make bad decisions, but you can see what they're intending to do, right? And we've had her on this show, okay? She has fought for a lot of what she's doing. She has a passion for wrestling. And the men's revolution clearly negatively persuaded her to do things, right? She was maybe a little too young.
Her team kind of left her in a lurch. We saw that. They kind of left her out there.
And it's Boss Baines. I mean, that alone should tell you that they were up to no good. And, she made some poor decisions. Oh, I'm sorry. If this was a New Japan segment, you'd still be talking too. So don't throw the watch at me, buddy.
Well, let me throw it this way. Tommy, would you rather have Jasmine Allure beat La Rosa Negra for the Mission Pro Championship, or
she already did
again, or Lance Archer beat Okada for the New Japan Heavyweight?
Lance Archer beat Okada. That is not even a contest of a question. That is in no way a contest of a question. If
at Wrestle Kingdom, at Wrestle Kingdom.
Yes, Lance Archer still beat Okada. I don't give a shit because that is way. That's basically asking me would I like to drink arsenic or drink water. I will take the water. Thank you.
Hold on. It's Lance Archer versus Okada in a put Tommy through a table match. And the only way he can win the title from Okada is to put you through a table. How about that?
I will go through 3 tables if it means that Jasmine Allure doesn't beat
So go through 3 because the ref didn't see the first 2. That's why.
And Jason, why am I being a heel? Because I believe that someone has made some bad decisions. Look at the amount of hatred Tommy has. He's willing to go through 3 tables so she doesn't win. I don't understand that. I don't feel that way about La Rosa Negra. I don't feel that way about Genocide. Genocide's like, again, this is like 1A and 1B for me. This is top. I haven't even officially said I'm choosing Jasmine or I'm choosing Genocide. I'm just saying that you have this hatred and vitriol for her.
Okay.
And I don't understand.
How long did you plan all this out before we started this show?
First of all, Timmy, thanks for joining us.
Hi, Timmy. Good to meet you.
What's up, Timmy?
I'm trying to think of who else Tommy hates.
Oh God.
Should I get the 1,004 holds list like Jericho to get that out? It's like a who's
Jasmine
who of Ring of
Allure
Honor.
over La Rosa Negra or Joey Specter over Okada. Which one would you prefer to see?
Oh, okay. Now that's a good one. I'll give you that. Okay.
Look,
that one I would rather have Jasmine Lore be.
Okay, you're a sane man.
Yeah.
I swear to God.
Yeah, no. That one was slightly harder, but not as much.
you have to accept people as who they are. You think all these kids that I teach on a yearly basis are always good? Like, you have to accept them for who they are. It's part of being a human being.
Yeah, sounds like a teacher ready for vacation. All right, Tommy, you ready for a 1 minute warning here?
Yes, dear God. Wow, that was something.
Ready, set, and go.
Well, since somebody brought up New Japan, I might as well mention that tomorrow, or technically today, Mike, is the start of the Best of the Super Juniors tournament. And they're getting like everyone in that they can. Aside from New Japan guys, they signed Leo Rush, but Mike Bailey will be there. I don't know if you guys heard. Yeah. He's in the tournament. Who else? There's another name. But no, Titan's been there before. Robbie Eagles. Yeah, but pretty much the biggest name that's coming in there is going to be Mike Bailey, they already did the press conference yesterday. Mm-hmm. So okay. So it's going to be starting from technically it's already May 12th in Japan. So today until May 28th, that's when the finals are. So, and there's 2 blocks, so it's a round robin tournament. So yeah, this has been something that a lot of New Japan guys, the juniors especially, have been wanting to see it again. Was another international Best of Super Juniors tournament, because the last couple of years they were kind of, but only with guys that they could get to Japan legally because of the pandemic. So now with stuff more opened up, they're able to get Kevin Knight. That's who else was in it, because he's been teaming with Kushida recently. I think they won the junior tag titles not too long ago, actually. So it's going to be a great tournament, and it's starting soon. If you have New Japan World, check it out.
All right.
That was very good, Tommy. I appreciate that. I've heard good things, and I want to see Mike Bailey do well in that. So.
Yeah, well, it's the thing is with Best Super Junior tournaments. I feel like those guys always have something to prove every year, because they want everyone, especially since like guys like Liger retired. It's like they want to show that they can still carry that torch. Like Takahashi and Kushida and El Desperado, honestly, I feel like are the biggest ones who carry the torch now. Taiji Ishimori, yeah, but since he's always so tied up in Bullet Club, he kind of gets lost in the shuffle. But I mean, come on, Mike Bailey and Leo Rush are in the same block, so we're gonna get that match sooner or later. That's gonna be fire. So I can't wait for that. So.
All right. Sometimes when these 1 minute warnings come around, I really kind of have stuff that maybe I might have thought up in the course of the show. Sometimes I have a few things that I in my mind are planned out. This is one of those times where I've had something in my head since Saturday. Oh, no. I know it's not Chumpy by Bad Bunny, but this is something that needs to happen. Puerto Rico, San Juan specifically, showed out. WWE, the Royal Rumble needs to go to Puerto Rico. That same arena, that same Coliseum, that same crowd. You already had the entrance ramp there. It was already a perfect setup. You had the drone shots. Take the Royal Rumble to the beaches of Puerto Rico, throw it in that Coliseo, and let's have a fucking party. That needs to happen in January. If you haven't already picked that out, I don't care if it's not a big stadium. You already know that could be one of the best Royal Rumbles you've ever had, and it needs to go to San Juan. WWE, make that happen in Puerto Rico. You guys deserve it. Definitely.
That's a good one.
I could not agree more with that. Can you imagine that crowd like counting down, and then whenever someone's
in
music
Spanish,
hits,
mind you, that
in Spanish, for sure,
which would be even better. So
yeah.
yes,
But well, a friend of mine who's a friend of he's Puerto Rican. He actually said that's one of your best crowds ever. You're welcome. And I was like, look, my thing was, dude, I can't even argue with you, bro, because your people showed up and showed out. I can't even get mad at you.
yeah.
But he also said that should be like a yearly thing. They should go to Puerto Rico at least once a year. And I said, yeah, I can think of no legitimate reason why they shouldn't, because that was one of the best crowds I've ever heard in any wrestling venue.
Even if it's from Raw Perspective, but definitely the Rumble needs to be.
Yeah, they should.
Yeah. The Rumble needs to be there.
A big 4 pay-per-view.
You know, I mean, since we're doing PLEs internationally,
why not?
I mean,
is it technically international? Yeah, kind of.
no, I know that was.
Yeah.
I mean,
I thought about that earlier, but
yeah,
it's technically American soil. Right?
I mean, it's international if you just don't pay attention, which you know.
Or if you went to school, never mind.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us here on the Countdown City WrestleCast. Of course, always check out the Countdown City Geeks website, countdowncitygeeks.com. And as always, like, subscribe. You just joined our channel. Subscribe to YouTube. Follow us on Facebook. Our Twitter account at @CCG_WrestleCast, which is up here at the top. Next week, we're going to preview and talk a bit about RCW in our house.
I got to clean up.
They have coming up. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Sorry.
Anyway, no, it's next
and
weekend,
to have a show discussing that, and the following week after that will be a full show, because Memorial Day weekend is going to be busy in the world of wrestling. You got Night of Champions, you got Hybrid Mania, you got NXT Battleground, and you have Double or Nothing. So there's a lot to discuss. So we're going to take some time to talk RCW next week, and then in 2 weeks we have all that to discuss as well.
Yep.
So
Nice.
Yep. Guys, thanks for joining us. If you're watching us live, we do appreciate it. If you're catching us after the fact, please let us know your thoughts on Backlash. Your thoughts on should the Royal Rumble go to Puerto Rico? What other events
answer is
go
yes.
there as well? Yeah.
The answer is
I'll
yes.
throw this one out there because there seems to be rumors of it. Does Bad Bunny get a shot at Roman Reigns?
You know what?
Why
Why the hell not?
Right. Like, why not?
Yeah, Logan Paul got one. He didn't even do anything for that one. You know, so no.
You know, so why not? Over here, we got Tommy.
Thanks, guys.
We got Mike.
Thanks, guys. Be good to each other.
And I'm JC, and as always, heels and baby faces, remember, pro wrestling is real.
People are fake. Reach for the sky, boy.
Happy Mother's Day to all you moms out there. We'll
Happy
see you
Mother's Day,
next
Mom.
Adios, Gunther. Happy Mother's Day.